Welcome to Afternoon Market Action. My name is Glenn.
My name is Patrick.
And we're here as your host today. Keep you up and up on what's going on in the market. Interesting market today for those people who were in our trading room, how the market looked like it was going to open up down. We saw that it was opening up down, but the Derby tool, our day trading tool that we use in our day trading room, told us a different story. And we were able to be ahead of the curve as the market started to rebound out of the gate. So that was a positive thing. Real quick, if you can hear us, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know where you're tuning in from. We do have people on our Facebook app as well. I want to hear from you as well. You guys are so quiet on Facebook. I don't know what's going on over there. Gosh, y'all are like, hi, we're on Facebook. Oh, we got to share on Facebook? Sweet. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. So, and we getting the likes on Facebook as well. I always say, if you're brand new to the channel, by all means, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and so that you'll be alerted when this stuff comes out. Hit the like button as well. I always like to see us try to get 100 likes before we leave for the day. And if you're on Facebook, by all means, hit that thumbs up, hit those hearts, whatever you got to do, and support the channel. My good friend Patrick is over there. He brings a lot to the table. I love that we made this format change on Wednesdays to have the both of us. And yeah, let's see. We've got Lynette here from Virginia Beach. My kid went to Regent University. I said, why do you want to go to Regent University? She says, Dad, it's Virginia Beach. I said, oh, okay. That was her thinking. And she went there for a couple of years before she joined the military. So any new Glennisms today? I'll come up with something today. The day is just starting, so we'll see. Good morning from the Canadian West Coast, says Michael. Kenneth is coming in from Crystal Lake, Illinois. Miss McClintock is here. Aloha from Honolulu, Bionic Bob.
Wish I could be there right now.
Bob. How about that? What's Bionic? I don't know if I want to know what's Bionic. All right.
It's like part robot, part machine kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
like Terminator.
That's a mile away from my home. Regent University. Yeah, that's where my kid went. So I got a proud sticker of a dad of somebody in Regent University. All right. Facebook is rejecting my attempt to share this, says Roger. Well, you're not on Facebook. You're on you're typing on YouTube. I don't know if that's making a difference, but YouTube and Facebook are two different things. If you can, on YouTube side, share this link. Let's get some people in the room. Let's get a whole lot of people in the room. I think Patrick's got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. I got some okay stuff to talk about today. So Salty Hook says, this is my second time attending a live stream. Let's see if we get some interaction. I'm trying to get the interaction. You see I'm pushing, trying to get the interaction. Come on. How you doing? I'm trying. Say what? Oh, what did you say? Joey's sitting over here. You can't see him, but say hi, Joey. All right, so he's sitting over here. All right, let's get started. Afternoon market action is all about what's going on. Do you do meet and greets? Buy it all USA. I am of the mindset if we should, Joey, right? We should do meet and greets, but you know, with a whole bunch of stuff going on and this, that, and other thing, Joey and I and Patrick probably need to push to do some meet and greets. I would love to, especially in Florida and California. All right.
No, we just need to get a group together and do it in the Bahamas.
Oh, that's even better. Oh, man, we can do that.
Live AMA from the Atlantis.
All right. Ooh, that's even better.
Yeah. Tax write-offs.
Talk about that. Hello from South Africa. Moritz is here. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up some news stories. I can click that from right here, right? No. All right. We're going to go to some news stories, and Patrick and I, some of them are Patrick's, some of them are mine, and some of them are for the both of us to talk about as well. And of course, why not start off with what's going on in the market from an economy standpoint? Jacqueline is tuning in from Ireland. Gotta love that. I want to go to Ireland. Have you ever been to Ireland, Patrick?
No.
I want to go to Ireland. I want to use my Irish accent. It says, they're after me Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. Blue hearts, yellow moons, orange stars,
Yeah,
and and
and
green
that's how we're gonna
clovers.
lose
Huh?
viewers pretty quick.
No, I like my Irish accent. That's about as much as I can do, Jacqueline, from an Irish accent. So, all right, let's do this. Fed minutes come out like now, right? Fed minutes are coming out now. Fed minutes may shape debate over what follows in June and July rate hikes. I got a story that's coming up right behind this that touches on what I think the Fed should do from a Fed rate hike. What is your thinking right now on what the Fed is doing, Patrick?
In terms of the rate hikes?
Oh, hold on. Merrick says, just in, Fed minutes point to more rate hikes quicker than the market anticipates. Ooh. All right,
Woo-hoo!
so now what's your take on the rate hikes?
They're useless.
Oh.
They're trying to fix a problem that they have no interest in fixing. So,
well, isn't that part of their job to say that they have no interest in fixing? Isn't that part of what the Fed is supposed to do? It's supposed to be looking at making sure the economy is good and the job market is good. Isn't that their job?
yeah, but as we keep talking about week in and week out, raising interest rates does not affect the supply chain issues. So they
True.
can raise them as much as they want until, they're blue in the face, but that's not going to fix the inflation issues.
All right, so
all that does is hurt companies.
So let's talk about that. Would you not do anything with interest rates then?
I mean, I don't think the supply chain issues can really be fixed by what the Fed covers.
I don't think the supply chain issues can be fixed.
I mean, governments can fix that, but it can't come from the Fed to fix this kind of issue that's causing the raise in prices that we're seeing and the inflation that we're seeing. It has to come from the government starting to stimulate things by, putting new emphasis or new money towards areas that will help reduce that supply chain issue more so than anything else. So, put people back onto pumping U.S. oil, start producing things here, start, setting up supply chains, local supply chains in our own country. That way we're not having to worry about the global supply chains and all that. It's going to take a lot to get back there because we've just destroyed that for over the last, 30, 40 years.
Yep.
But it's time to get U.S. industries back on U.S. soil and start making money here.
All right.
That's what really would take it or would fix it, but nobody's going to do that.
So here's the next story that goes counterintuitive to your story. The Fed must boost rates by a full percentage point at every meeting to bring down inflation and avoid a job-killing recession. That just goes against everything you just said. And I agree with what you said is that we need to do things on our side to help the supply chain. The supply chain is affecting us because we're not making here, we're not drilling here.
If this is an opinion piece, they really need to do a lot better at their job because first off, okay, so the Fed has been raising interest rates. What's going on with companies all across, the big companies right now, the tech companies? They're slowing down hiring and they're actually starting to lay people off. So the Fed raising interest rates is killing jobs right now as we speak. You won't see it in the numbers currently because they probably have some severance package, that keeps them afloat for the next month or two. But once those severance packages dry up, you're going to see the unemployment rate start to pick up, I would assume.
So I am thinking that even with the Feds raising rates, it is affecting companies, but companies are still making money. Overall, the bottom line is that they're still making money. FactSet said that with all of the companies that have reported, 77% have beat or exceeded their earnings expectations. I honestly don't see the misses in earnings until next quarter, and especially quarter four.
And I agree. They're still making money. FactSet shows the data there that we can all agree upon.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you're all of a sudden worried about losing some of your profitability, what's the first thing you cut? Unnecessary jobs.
Absolutely.
raising interest rates is deterring these companies from taking out these loans to help continue to grow their business and grow their companies. And so now they're stopping, they're not taking them much money anymore because of the high interest rate associated with it. And now they're worried about cost cutting. So what are they doing? They're going to fire people or just completely go on a hiring freeze.
Yep.
And that's what we're seeing. You saw it from all the tech companies, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, all of them, are all starting to freeze hiring. And even banks, you see a lot of big banks starting to already all of a sudden come out announcing they're starting to, slow down on their hiring.
And the banks are supposed to benefit from the raises in interest rates because it can affect the money that they're making back on the short-term loans or longer-term loans.
Yep.
But this is the first time that I've seen that I can remember raising interest rates are not helping the banks at this point in time.
Well, so you had Jamie Dimon come out, what was it, the beginning of the week during their Davos talk and say
you did a video on it.
He sees everything looking, or, the issues we're noticing right now are just storm clouds. They're not fully affecting us right now. And I think that goes with what we've been saying is, it's not affecting earnings. Companies are still making money. We're not seeing those potential issues affecting companies quite yet, but they could potentially get here. The clouds could dissipate and storm clouds go away, or they continue to roll in and then they hit us. And that's when it's going to get even more ugly than what we've already seen.
Yeah. And I do think we got a lot more ugly before we get pretty. I think we got a lot more ugly before we get pretty. Now, Francisco says, I see retail being affected by interest rates. And that's true. Yep. I totally understand that. Retail has been taking it on the chin right now. Walmart, Target took a big hit and affected the market adversely. Macy's.
Best Buy. Best Buy missed earnings.
Best Buy, Kohrs, all of those companies. So, retail inflows at nearly all-time high despite market turbulence. Now, I didn't read the story, but it didn't sound right. Individual investors are buying stocks at a pace akin to the 2021 meme stock frenzy, even as returns on retail investments sit at multi-year lows amid widespread sell-off on concerns about rising interest rates. Retail investors bought stocks worth $76 billion during the 3-month period ending on May 24th, or $1.3 billion a day on average compared to net purchases of $80.6 billion. The investors last year shot to fame, blah, 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 on GME and AMC. However, shares of retail darlings have since plummeted. GameStop, I'm not going to get into that one yet. The performance of retail investors' portfolio compared to broader markets in the last 3 months was the worst ever recorded by Vanda, which is data from the start of 2014. Retail is getting it. Now, this that has not deterred small-time investors from buying shares of their favorite techs like Apple. I'm a big fan of Apple. I'm not in Apple right now. Tesla got a sell recommendation right now. Amazon over the past week. So it looks like people are buying into the big names that they know. All right. And so maybe they are focusing on that from a sense of safety, but these stocks are still getting beaten up like nobody's business. So I'm not sure where the safety comes in there. But retail is getting beaten up. More stuff on retail. Abercrombie and Fitch sales falls 29% after retail posts a loss. Offers weak outlook. Kohl's stock surges on reports about bidders are still competing for the company amid market volatility. So what did I say a while ago, VV Nation, in regards to how stocks are going to try to affect the bottom line? One, they're going to offer dividends. We've seen a lot of stories coming out on companies growing or offering dividends. People are going to be M&A. They're going to be buying up. Kohl's is one of those companies that people are looking to buy up. And there was a third thing. M&A. Oh, buybacks. That was my third thing, is going to be on buybacks. So these are the things that as we get into quarter 2 and quarter 3, when companies get closer to missing earnings, these are the things that they're trying to utilize to grow the bottom line so that investors ain't going to get all pissed off at them that they're losing money. But Patrick is right that with the interest rates rising, it's going to kill companies' ability. It's taking money out of people's pockets, especially when they have to borrow.
And it's going to
money.
hurt the M&As as well.
Say again?
Because they have to finance these M&As, and with a high interest rate, that costs them a lot more to finance these mergers and acquisitions.
So, but you know what's making them do the M&As is that a lot of these companies, it's going to be, I think that this is part of survival of the fittest. A lot of these companies have been beaten up. They're not doing so well, but they have potential. So people are coming in to buy these companies to add to their books as possibilities to grow. And they're going to take the hit right off the bat because of the interest rates, but they're trying to get themselves set up for the future with companies that could do better.
Yeah, with the rise in interest rates, the Fed just announced that they're going to continue to raise them quicker than they expected to. I think that's going to deter companies from willing to take that kind of risk with such a high rate of borrow right now.
We'll see. I think it's just one of the things that they can do. Publicly traded companies' whole idea is to make the investors happy. So we shall see. Do you find government regulation to also be a key to holding back the supply chain? I think from an oil perspective, yes. I think over-regulating is not making it appetizing for these companies to go out and drill. All right. So from that perspective, yes, but I'm not sure on other things in regards to regulations, Francisco, if it's holding back. But I think especially from the oil perspective, yes, too much regulation is not making it appetizing for the companies to go drill oil. See, in my mind, let them drill. They're still going to make money. All right, because people keep talking about gouging. I don't think it's about gouging. I think it's capitalism. If the supply is low, you want what I got, you can pay more. All right. I think that if you allow them to go and drill, this puts more supply out there, which should automatically bring prices down because the more supply you have, the more demand for competition is going to go on. Because why am I going to pay this amount of money to get your oil when the next guy who's got supply is willing to do it for less? So put the oil out there, put the supply out there. It should automatically bring prices down. Patrick?
I agree to an extent.
Okay.
I mean, it definitely will help bring the prices down as long as that oil stays here. Knowing the way things are going, most likely if we did start drilling oil, if we did start producing oil once again, all of that would be sold overseas. So it wouldn't actually benefit U.S. markets at all. It would or U.S. consumers. It would just benefit U.S. companies' profits, basically.
Okay.
But one of the things, everybody always complains about is, oh, the prices of oil are rising and these companies are making, record profits right now. Well, yeah, because the price is so volatile, they're making a lot of money off of arbitrage. They're buying it one day when it's $10 less, and then the next day it jumps $10. And
right.
then, so there's a lot of arbitrage that they can make money off of. And, I think people need to understand that when they see these oil companies making record profits. But I'm going to be talking about oil companies a little bit more in general, or more specifically tomorrow during our Thursday mobile coaching session. So
you got it. So
I'm going to save a lot of my comments for that tomorrow.
I don't want to step on your toes. All right. So that was a little bit about retailers and what's going on with them. It is what people do or don't do that's going to affect retail. If prices get too high, they're going to start focusing on one or two companies to buy from or one or two stores to buy from. Then there's several that are out there. And I think that the company that benefits the most out there is going to be Walmart. It's the biggest brick and mortar store out there. And then, of course, Amazon. I don't think anybody pulls away from ordering from Amazon. So I think Walmart and Amazon continue on.
Well, Amazon's sales have gone down. They're not.
Listen,
they're not selling as much.
Well, but People are still going to
their
buy. They may not be
volume per
selling as
house
much,
is
but
down
people are
quarter
still going to
or
buy. It's the easy way to go buy still. Ask my wife. Ask my,
yeah,
even though
but if
she's
you
cut
look at their
back a
numbers
little
and
bit too.
you look at their balance sheet, Amazon has dropped their shipping or their volume of shipping over the last 20 or 12 months or so, I think it was, by 25% so far. They're only at 75% capacity of what they were a year ago. So they're not shipping as much as everybody thinks they are right now.
I can tell you from my
they're still
perspective,
shipping a lot, but not as much as everybody realizes.
I still think that they ship a lot because my wife still gets all that crap. So yes, they ship a lot. Every day is like Christmas at my house. Every day. Holy,
And Santa comes in a
Joey
blue
says
van,
they were
folks.
already at his house twice today. I mean, so I think that Amazon is such the easy way to buy that, but I hear you in that if they're dropping in regards to how much they're shipping out, I hear you. Amazon is looking to sublease some of their properties. Amazon is leasing facilities now instead of building new ones. Is VectorVest laying off employees? Hell no. Oh, well, no. Oh, Boston is in here. Hi, Boston.
Hey,
Boston says the last 3 packages I ordered from Amazon were delayed. All different areas they came from, and they have upped their annual rates too. All right.
Yeah, and they cut back on their what is it? Who do they buy? The Whole Foods?
Yeah.
Whole Foods, they used to offer if you bought, I think it was like $35 or more on an order, you got free shipping included.
Yeah.
Now, no matter how much your order is, you have to pay like a shipping fee, like a $10 shipping fee or a delivery fee.
Well, that means they're trying to make money every which way they can as well. So
they're pulling a Netflix, man, and it's not going to end well. We see where Netflix is.
Monica on Facebook says, Glenn had it right. Consumers will buy less, but when we do buy, Amazon will get most of it. I still think that the 2 biggest places that people will buy, even if they do back up a little bit, is still going to be Amazon and Walmart. Those are going to be the 2. Target got hit and stymied the whole freaking market. And when they went down and the whole market goes, oh crap, it's Target. It's not, it's Target.
Well, Target was one of the big winners for COVID.
Say again?
Target was one of the big winners from the COVID stocks.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, if I had a choice, where would I go? I go to Walmart to people watch. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I go to Walmart to people watch. All right.
Yeah. That's weird.
Shut up. Is that creepy? Is that a little creepy?
Creepy?
All right.
I go to Lowe's Foods. I'll go to Lowe's Foods that people watch if I'm going to do that.
I've never, ever been to Lowe's Foods.
You want to come with me after work today?
Nope. I'm a Publix fan. I like Publix. I love Publix. It's expensive. My wife does that. She says, I'm going shopping. I say, where you going shopping? She said, I'm going to Food Lion. I'm like, So let's go to Publix. She says, okay, Mr. Moneybags, as long as you're paying. I'm like, yep, I'm paying and we're going to Publix. All right. This is Patrick's story. And this is an interesting story. Right. Take it away, Patrick.
So yeah, there was an interesting clip I found on the internet today, and then I found an article here that pretty much just summarizes what it says. It's about a minute or 2 clip. You can find it on YouTube. Just Google search it. But basically, this comes from the World Economic Forum that's going on right now, and the CEO of Moderna basically is stating that nobody wants their vaccine. They can't find any governments to buy it from them. They have a ton of inventory with no potential buyers. They've tried to offer it to other governments or other countries, and they don't even want it. Even U.S. citizens aren't taking it. Nobody wants to do a 4th jab, any of that. And so now they're getting ready to throw away 30 million doses of their COVID-19 vaccine.
Why does no one want the vaccine, Patrick?
I mean, do we really want to get into that right now?
All right. I'm just asking.
I mean, you look at some of the side effects that people have reported that, that a lot of news won't talk about or just gets marked as misinformation or, the Ministry of Misinformation or whatever.
Oh, that went away. That's on pause right now. That's on pause in case you didn't hear.
Whatever. But It's basically coming from that, or these so-called fact checkers that go on social media that fact check, and if they don't like what it, or if it doesn't agree with their view, then they instantly flag it as false. That kind of stuff, people have easily seen right through it. And yeah, nobody wants to take an experimental drug that could potentially have long-term side effects that you have no idea about. Especially the fact that, it's basically COVID's turned out to be a new flu or a new cold, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really have as much lethality as everybody thought it did at first. So yeah, why put yourself at risk taking an experimental drug when you could, just get COVID? Okay, if it happens, it happens. And then you have a 99% chance of surviving it. So,
well, John put out, gee, nobody wants the vaccine. That should tell you something. I got vaccinated.
So
I got vaccinated. My wife is a respiratory therapist, so she had to get vaccinated because she deals with people on a daily basis. And then she got a booster. I didn't do a booster. I got vaccinated. And then after the vaccination, I got COVID. I had it was only sick for a couple of days. But you know something? Deep down inside, being in the military, when we were in boot camp, we got like 30 jabs of stuff.
You're used to being a test subject.
And you know something? I think to this day, I got inoculated against crap. Nobody was ever thinking about it. For all I know, I probably got a COVID vaccination while I was in boot camp, and they didn't even know it was COVID. So I think that it's done something in my immune system, because since then, I get sick very rarely. Not even from a cold to a flu, very infrequently do I ever get sick. So,
well, it's interesting though. Over the last, since the vaccine stuff started coming out and this most recent Omicron, variant came out, the only people I know that have caught COVID since that point have all been people who have been vaccinated.
Yep. And I'm one of them. I'm one of them. All right.
I already had COVID. I'll stick with the natural immunity.
Okay. I got you. All right. That was one of your stories. I'm going to get into another story.
Oh, that's my put play of the week, by the way.
Okay, put play of the week. Patrick's put play of the week. All right, I got you. Everybody knows how I feel about EVs. I'm a fan of EVs. Whether you like it, whether you like me for it or not. Monica on Facebook says, remember anthrax? Boot camp gave that vaccine out too to those who joined later. Really? I don't know if I got, I got, I didn't ask him. I said, sir or ma'am, what is that shot for? I just sit there and just and sent me down.
And if you don't drop on the floor, then they let you go.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So Volkswagen chief says German car giant will overtake Tesla on electric vehicle sales by 2025. That is a bold statement. Would you agree?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's it. Now, Volkswagen also came out and said that by 2025, they were no longer going to be making combustion vehicles. Combustible. Which one is it? Combustion. They're going to stop. And Volvo said the same thing. I think Audi said the same. A few companies said that by a certain time, they're no longer going to be making combustion vehicles.
You do realize Volkswagen and Audi are the same thing, right?
No, I didn't know. It doesn't matter. I own a Volkswagen.
Really? You've never realized they look identical, kind of like GM
everybody is freaking buying everybody else that I can't keep up. I ain't going to lie. I can't keep up. I'm sure that Cadillac owns stuff to
Chevy, GM.
We're actually live, Dave. Thank you. All right. Dave comes running up in my office, and I should have put him on camera. He'd be like, he would have turned beet red. All right. No, I didn't know. But nonetheless, I think that I'm putting the story up because that's a bold statement. We all know that Tesla is the big boy in the group.
You could come out and say by 2025 you're going to be taller than me, but doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Well, I'm not going to be taller than you. I might be fatter than you. I'm probably fatter than you now. But
yeah, you are.
Wow, John says most cars out of Germany are garbage. Tesla is still my pick. I hate German cars. Quality sucks lately. I own a Volkswagen Passat and love it. It's a 2015. That car goes about 150 miles an hour, really. It might shake a little bit. But I love my Passat, but then I've got a U.S. company car. I got a Ford Excursion. It's got 40 gallons that I'm getting ready to go fill up that I haven't done it yet.
Oh God.
All right, but I'm scared. I might have to take out a loan and mortgage my house to go fill up my
Please
Excursion.
tweet out the picture of the final.
Yeah, I might do that. If you follow me on Twitter, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think that I'm going to go, and once I fill up the truck, I'm going to tweet it out and be like, holy crap. Glenn, where are you doing 150 miles an hour? I know it's not. Yeah, it is on 77. Depends on when you do it, Boston. Oh, you go up like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning on 77, you can go 150 miles an hour. Where's your Yugo when you need it? Wow, do you ever remember? You remember the Yugo, Patrick?
Barely. I've seen it in car shows, but nothing like that.
The going joke was you go straight to the hospital because that little itty bitty car. Wow, Sonny, you just showed your age. You just showed your age. Oh man. All right, let's go to my next story in here because I did a story on Rivian not too long ago. Rivian sues supplier because of the seats. And look at this, as Ford unloads another 7 million Rivian shares. And I got asked the question of why is Ford dropping all their shares? And I think that the best answer is that they're focusing on their own EV space. I mean, look at the Ford F-150.
If you look at their last earnings performance, the only reason they missed earnings is because of their investment into Rivian.
And what did they also do? They split off their EV component. Because I think that they know that the EV component is going to be able to stand on its own and make its own money. But now, if that's the case, then why isn't Amazon getting affected by that as well? Unless you're saying that they are as well. Because the two biggest supporters of Rivian when they first came out was Ford and Amazon.
Yeah, and Amazon took a huge nosedive after earnings because they missed earnings because of their investment in Rivian.
You think that? I don't know.
Look at their balance sheet. They lost like $8 billion because of their Rivian investment, and they missed earnings by like 7.5 billion or whatever the equivalent would be. Basically, 7.5 billion was what it came out to be.
All right, so Ford is dropping that to effectively help their bottom line, but I'm also thinking that another reason behind dropping it is because they want to focus on their own EV space. I still think the Rivian is a good vehicle. Glenn, did you get your shot when Volkswagen was a sell-off after the tailpipe scandal? I got mine in 2015. I bought it from my son. He bought it probably in 2018. All right, and then he was getting ready to go into the Marine Corps. So I bought it so he didn't have to have a car payment. I love my Passat. I love that Passat. It's a great little vehicle. It gets me, a 16-gallon tank. It gets me about 550 miles to a tank. And I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. So in regards to Rivian, I still like the play. I did a video that sort of kind of maybe linked Rivian to X-Row. Remember,
yeah,
X-Row,
I saw something about that.
X-Row has got about 6 NDAs out there, and I'm thinking that Rivian is one of their NDAs. All right, and so I'm a big X-Row fan. Most of us do you still have your X-Row shares? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked up. I got about almost 20,000 shares of X-Row, something like that. About 16, somewhere between 16 and 20. I think everybody in our education department's got some form of X-Row in their portfolios. All right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Jay sent me something from LinkedIn. Tesla details 100-year battery. This is just stuff that they're writing on. It ain't out there yet. Tesla Advanced Battery Research Division teaming up with renowned blah, 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 blah. This is just Jay. I haven't even seen Jay here. See, look at that, Jay. You're not even here. I'm mad at you now. When I do see you on the program, and I'm gonna tell Patrick the same thing. I'm mad at you because you weren't here. All right. So that's interesting story. I'm sure that that's just still developing.
I
Patrick
mean,
talk.
just like the autonomous cars. I mean, he puts out an idea, and then every year he says, "Well, it'll be next year. It'll be
Yeah,
next year. It'll be next year."
yeah,
Eventually, one day he's gonna be right.
yeah. That's true. So this is just something that's developing. It's out there. Patrick talked about Moderna. I'm talking about Pfizer. They picked up a company, and this is why having a company, even though they're big in the COVID space, this is why having a pipeline is so important. They picked up a company. They bought Arena Pharmaceutical, and Arena Pharmaceutical, 2 final phase studies of estradiol are the first to read out after Pfizer closes Arena buyout March. After 12 weeks, where is the story? After the company reported promising results of an ulcerative colitis treatment. All right, so this is why it's always important as a drug company to have stuff in the pipeline. All right, the best engineers in the world want to work for Tesla. Listen, I'm a fan of Tesla. I think that Tesla is a great company, and I think that for the most part, they are the leader of the pack. Brum, brum, brum. That was before your time, Patrick. You don't know that song. That was before your time. They are the leader of the pack, and everybody's going after them. So, do you, Alex? Alex says he's got UC, which is ulcerative colitis. And you use Humira, but here's another company. I don't know what the drug name is from Arena. I don't know. I like Pfizer. It's been around a long time, and they do have a lot in the pipeline beyond just COVID. Tesla licenses part of their drive technology from Toyota. I did not know that. Did you know that, Patrick?
I didn't.
I didn't know that either. All right. So, something, everybody wants to be in everybody's pockets along the way from this Tesla move. I think there's a lot of other companies that are involved in it. All right. So just interesting about Pfizer outside of COVID. Now, Patrick, we only got about 20, 25 minutes left. I want you to take everything that you talked to me about GME and put it in about 2 minutes. Now, I am not a big fan of meme stocks. All right. And Patrick and I differ on this. But I will say one thing. Patrick has a way of digging so deep into GameStop, I think he knows what they're going to do before they even know what they're going to do. So
No, I wouldn't go that far. Ryan Cohen's had this plan for years, man. This has been all planned out.
I found a story just for you to start off on.
You just found the announcement. That's
say again?
You just found the announcement.
Oh yeah, that's all. I just wanted something. I didn't want you to just talk about it. I wanted you to.
Story, just announcing the day they announce earnings.
That's all right, but you go from there.
All right. So with all this, anybody who's known me for a while knows I've been a big GameStop fan ever
Fanatic.
Since. Okay,
fanatic. Let's just call it what it is.
The run up we had back in 2021. With with Ryan Cohen getting on the board, changing the board up, them being pretty much isolated, trying to cut off any sort of publicity, not really trying to announce what their plan is. They've been flying under the radar for the most point for the last year and a half. Well, over that last year and a half, they've got a stellar board of directors now from major companies such as Amazon. They just hired a new logistics officer from, I think it was Belk, if I'm not mistaken. But they've got a star-studded board leading the company in the right direction now. One of the things they've been hinting at is their new Web 3.0 blockchain gaming venture that they're getting into. And with that, Immutable X has been announced as one of their partners, same as Loopring. Loopring is the blockchain L2 ZK rollup that is building their NFT marketplace and makes their gas fees incredibly low, especially when compared to anybody else out there. Basically, OpenSeas is the biggest one out there, and their gas fees, let's say to mint one NFT, would be $20. On the same minting on the Loopring platform or protocol would cost about 20 cents. So a huge savings to bring this NFT to to really the retail person out there, the average investor, the average person. And the way they're doing it, especially with their crypto wallet they just released earlier this week, and especially seeing a lot of the reviews on it, the way they're doing it is they're making it easy and easy for the average person to get acclimated with. And Immutable X is their gaming partner that's working on GameFi or gaming on the blockchain system. And they're the ones, they just did a stream yesterday. You can search Bankless and you can find the stream there. Basically, they're going to be able to build this platform to allow AAA game developers and other game developers in general be able to build whatever game they want and then link it all to their Immutable X ecosystem. I've done a bunch of videos on it. They're by far one of the most gaming in the blockchain blockchain sphere has some of the biggest potential. All the major developers are developing Web 3.0 gaming, and they now have the tools to be able to make it mainstream with GameStop. So there's a lot of new positive signs coming from the company. I've done a lot of videos on it. If you want to go take a look at our YouTube channel, go take a look at it. You can search for GameStop. You can find some of my videos. I even speculated a year ago as of next month that this was all going to be coming to light, and now we're finally starting to see it happen. Plus, you have them moving up their earnings announcement to the June 1st date, when you have Immutable X announcing a launch of one of their biggest games on their platform coming out the 2nd. And that could pretty much link up or sign up right toward, or pretty much align with their marketplace getting released. So that way Immutable X can release their game on their new GME platform. Also, as a side note, one of the other interesting parts of this whole story currently going on is if, Glenn, you pull up the other website that I sent you, which shows the borrow rates.
Which ones?
Did you set that up yet? I sent it over to you a little bit ago.
All right, hold on. Let me go find it.
But one of the things that's interesting and something that a lot of GameStop investors are keeping an eye on is the borrow rate for GameStop. For the longest time, up until the last couple of months or so, it stayed between 0.5 to 1%, maybe 1.5% at max. And now you scroll down just a little bit, we'll take a look at what the current borrow rate is on iBorrowDesk.
He says you got control.
Oh, okay. So if we scroll down, the current borrow rate, over 100% to borrow shares to be able to sell them short. So this is something you don't see pretty much ever. This is telling us that they are having a hard time locating shares, pretty much giving some confirmation, if you will, to some of the speculation that's been made over the last year and a half that, this stock has been shorted more than the float. Shares are going to finally eventually dry up and have a hard time being able to borrow shares. And that's what we're seeing with a borrow rate of over 100%. Anybody who takes those shares to borrow is desperate for shares right now. And that's what it's showing. So very, very interesting. You keep going down, it even gets into more closer to the 200%. Here's one: to borrow 100 shares, you have to pay a 200% borrow fee or interest fee, basically, to borrow those shares. This is something that, hasn't happened very often, but when it does, it typically leads to an explosive move in GameStop. And right now, last time I checked, GameStop's up 20 to 25%. So yeah, pretty big, pretty interesting. If you haven't taken a look at it, if you haven't started digging into it, I highly recommend to, because Web 3.0, blockchain, all of that is basically, the way of the future. It's like the internet, the next phase of the internet, basically. All right, I know that wasn't 2 minutes, but I try to get as much as I can, as short as I can. And Glenn just sitting over there.
What? I'm here. I was talking to Joey, you jerk. All right. Are you done talking about this stupid stock?
By the way, look at the borrow fee. Go take a look at it on the AMC and tell me how they're the same play. I'll wait. Oh,
I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, I bet you wouldn't.
I'm not looking at it because I'm not a fanatic over this crap. Now, I one thing that has happened over the time, that we've argued, that Patrick and I have both argued over these stocks. I think that GameStop has done a better job of pivoting to make themselves a more viable company. I don't know how much AMC can do besides what they're doing, accepting crypto for tickets and popcorn and buying up more movie theaters.
Buying a defunct gold miner.
Listen, don't hate on that. That could be a good thing. That could be, you're just a hater. I'm not a hater, man. I'm not even a hater on your little stupid stock. I'm not a hater on your stupid stock.
Just because you got caught up in the mess and took
listen,
the bait.
I think that the both of them have possibilities, and I'm going to time the trades. I'm not gonna do anything. It's just time the trade.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see how that goes.
Whatever. I hate you. All right. So here's one of my stocks that I think it's always been a speculative play, but Palantir in what they do is huge. I think that the being able to take data and turn it into useful information, no matter what space you're in, is important. They've got contracts all throughout our government, throughout governments all over the world. They keep getting contracts, and the money that they're getting from the contracts, they keep putting back into the company. The company still hasn't made a ton of money, but there are 3 platforms, and being able to take this data and get it to wherever you want it, I still think they're a lot ahead of the time. There's other companies like Snowflake out there. There's another company, an AI company. I think it's called AI. But Palantir is leaps and bounds ahead of both of those companies in regards to what they do. Why can't we like both AMC and GME, says Cedric. We can. I'm just beating up on Patrick because I can. That's all. We can like them both. We can like them both. I have fears that retail just can't match up to big money. That's the problem.
But big money's been dumping right into GME recently too. Look at the 13F filings, man.
All I'm saying is I don't think that retail has the wherewithal to combat that. I could be wrong. All right. And again, Patrick does a really good job of presenting the case on the GME platform. So we'll see. And if the possibilities are there, I'd rather to time the trades than to hold on to the stock. All right, so my stock, my speculative play has been for a long time and still will be, is Palantir. And there's one more thing. What is this one? Oh, that's the one we just did. All right, so now let's go take a look at all of these stocks in a watch list. Where do we have? We talked about the market already. I don't know if we're going to do fast-moving sectors. I think that we've done enough today with the stock picks and overall market so far today. Let's go. Oh, so this is what we're going to do. Here's Patrick's picks from last week. Let's go see how they worked out over the week. And then we're going to do the same thing to mine. So before you think that I'm coming after you, we're going to do the same thing to mine. These were stocks that Patrick was looking at last week. Let's go back to last Wednesday when he picked them up. Let's do a quick test of all of them. Look at that, Patrick. Look at that. Your stocks beat the market, or beat the S&P 500. Each one.
To be fair, though, those are my put picks for the week.
Well, were these put picks for the week? Were these your puts?
Yeah.
Oh, then you suck because they all went up. Then you're
up
bad.
A little bit.
Were they really your put picks?
Yeah, remember they were the Patrick's put picks.
Oh, well, then you didn't do so well. They all went up. All right.
But I did have some rules for when, what to keep an eye on in case they didn't continue to move in the right direction. And so there is that.
I know that one of your picks this week is a put pick. That's the MRNA, correct?
Yep.
All right. Let's go take a look at both of these stocks on the graph. And Patrick is big. Oh, let me stream this. Sorry. Look at that. GME up 24% today, Patrick.
Yep.
24%.
Off no news. There's nothing that I can find that's, mainstream news that's talking about anything about it. So,
all right. Let's go take a look at them. So one of these is a put pick for Patrick. I can't say that 10 times fast. One of them is I can't even say it once.
Patrick's foot picks.
mRNA. I think that was an interesting story about the 30 million vaccines that they're willing to throw out because nobody wants them.
I mean, they have to. They have no other choice.
Don't they spoil after a certain amount of time?
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
just going to waste. That's going to hurt their sales like crazy. That's going to hurt their profitability like crazy. So
Well, I don't think that this is a bad pick. That this is a bad. See, why are you answering about the AMC pick in the chat? Leave it alone.
I already told you I answered that. I answered that a while ago.
Oh my gosh, leave AMC alone.
You answered after
GME.
I did.
Sigh. I think that this is. I think that this
Come
is
on,
a good
Grandpa,
pick.
stay with it here.
Whatever. And then nice big move up. Not only is it a nice move up today on GME, but on good volume. Like that. I like that play. Very little wick at the top. Nice coming out of a little bit of a channel here. It does have a level of resistance to get through. It does have a level of resistance sitting at the value of about 118.55. Let's see what it does. All right. So those are his two picks going into next week.
And also, to be fair, you look at what the market's done and what GameStop has done since the beginning of the year. GameStop was trading about 150. Now it's down to about 100. That's not terrible. It's been relatively flat in this kind of market.
So let's go look at them.
It's held up better than, for a stock that was supposed to go back down to 20 a couple months after January. I mean, it definitely has been holding up relatively well.
And he's got a point.
Stock that has no value, apparently.
Let me put this on a 1 year graph. Oh, I don't know. This is side by side, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if I'm with that.
I'm talking about since January, not for the year.
You said since January?
Yeah, since January, since everything started really changing in the markets.
This January 2022. There's January 2020. I'm not with you on that. With the exception of this bump up here.
Big spike that we had to 200 for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Stock has pretty much moved sideways, whereas the market's been moving down. If you take away that big spike, the stock has been pretty flat at right around $100. So it's been holding nicely around 100.
It's been holding here. But I don't know if I'm looking at the graph, bro. I'm thinking it's moving with the market overall. My opinion, that's what I see. I can't argue the tape, bro. I'm looking at the screen.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right, let's go. Where's my picks from last week? Glenn's picks. Let's go back a week. Go back to the 18th. And let's go quick test. None of mine were bearish picks. Nice moves. San Juan, of which I do own. Zim. We talked about that last week.
We got that in the
Jockey Club. Yep. Palantir, I talked about last week. Damn, I can't get away from Palantir. I like the stock. I do like the stock. Over a week, though, it's down about 9/10. And SQQQ was my hedge on my portfolio from last week. It was down. All right, my picks for this week. Glenn's picks new. Let's peep them out. They all look like crap. Yeah. Oh, no, they're all nicely up. There's Kohrs. Kohrs rebounding. But again, this is on news that somebody's looking to buy them. So that's news-driven. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Palantir up nice today. Rivian up. All of my stocks that I got picks on today. Pfizer with the company that they bought with the colitis. Is up a little bit today. So
can you say that again? I couldn't hear you.
It is correct. So yes. Energy is here. Hi, Energy. All right. So let's not let Kenny G divide us. Kenny G. I like Kenny G. I'm a Kenny G fan. All right. So those are our picks. The topics that we talked about today in regards to the market. I think that we both brought something to the table. I think we're going to see if it's all about just oil. Can you just put me and Patrick on? If it's all about oil or if it's all about supply chain. I think it's a combination of the both. But I think that the oil falls in under the supply chain. And the Fed can't fix that. I still think the Fed can't fix that. The only way we can for us, I saw a story that says, name a company in the U.S. that makes chips?
There isn't. Apple makes their own chips, partially, not all of them, but they do
What
make
about
some of their own
Dell?
chips here.
What about Dell or Intel?
Nope, they get them from Taiwan.
Folks, that's scary. But it's scary now, but it's been like that for years. But it's only scary now because it's brought to the forefront. You agree with that?
Yeah, and I think you're already starting to see some moves from some of these bigger companies, trying to bring production of these chips here. I think Apple did it a couple of years ago, starting to make that shift to producing more of their stuff here. And I think there's other companies that I've seen in the news over the last, 6 months or so that are all starting to, put out plans to figure out how to start producing their own chips here in the U.S. So,
all right. So, from a market perspective, what is the Fed going to do on the next interest rate hike? Are they going to go beyond 50 basis points? I think only time will tell. We talked a little bit about retail, what was going on with that. Patrick and I had a couple of picks that we had stories on as well. I think we were kind of well-rounded today. And I can't stress enough, I do like that we have differing opinions on things. I think that makes for much better conversation along the way. And no matter what I feel about GME, I think Patrick does an amazing job on explaining why he likes the stock, bar none. Better than any YouTuber that's out there. I think he's put in the time and the effort on GME. And
speaking of YouTubers, whatever happened to that Andrew No Money or Mo Money or whatever his name was? I hope he's doing okay.
Who's he? Who's Andrew Mo Money?
He was one of those YouTubers that got really big for a little bit during that run up back in January of last year, and then you never heard from him again.
Well, the two big ones, Trey is out there still.
Yeah, Trey and
who's the
Matt
other one?
Kohrs.
Matt Kohrs, yeah.
But I haven't really heard anything from Matt Kohrs in a long time. I haven't heard anything from Andrew Mo Money or whatever his name was. I hope they're making it.
Well, I look at it this way. I love that we're not just singularly looking at one thing. We bring to the forefront on YouTube so many different things, and I love that about what we do. I totally
couldn't agree more.
Love that about what we do. All right. Anything else you want to add to today, Patrick? Oh, by the way, before you start, I'm off, so there will be no Trending Thursday tomorrow. There's not going to be midday market on Monday.
We're closed on Monday.
Huh?
We're closed on Monday.
I know that. That's why I said it was going to be no midday market on Monday. I'm going to go see the Ark. I'm so going to see the Ark in Kentucky. And if you follow me on Twitter, I'm gonna put up a lot of pictures. All right. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, go search for @Glenn Tompkins Jr. On Twitter. And what are you? P France 884922?
PR France 88.
PR France 88 on Twitter. That's how you follow him. All right. So I will be back next Wednesday. I'll be back for afternoon.
Wait,
midday.
So I got a whole week that I don't have to deal with you?
Yep.
Oh man, life's gonna be great, folks.
Yeah, you're gonna hate it. Che is genuine, in my opinion. You know something? I listen to Matt Kohrs. I listen to Trey. I listen to the three bigs on our channel for me, which is what? Larry Jones, Mo. Who's the Mo guy? Stock Mo, and Keenan Grace. Those are the three bigs in our space I listen to. So.
Knowing what we know, I have a hard time listening to the vast majority of them because of how much they say on especially when they talk about technical indicators or technical analysis. It hurts listening to it, man. It really does.
Right.
And I see Trey now starting to post stuff about Fibonacci's. Dude, you just started trading last year. You got a hype from the
Lord, don't make them come after us. I'm not trying to start no crap. Lord have mercy. I'm so not trying to start no crap.
But it's sad seeing people taking advice from somebody who's brand new to analysis.
Well, how long you been in trading in the markets?
30 years now.
I've been in here for 18 years. So you look at anybody on our education staff, we've been around for a minute.
Yep.
And the company's been around for about 30 years or more. So, all right. Patrick, shut us down, homie.
All right. Well, everybody, now that we know that Glenn's going to be gone for a whole week, we can't blame him for all of our issues that we have. So unfortunately, it's going to be a sad time. But, you know, at the same time, we all can enjoy this time, enjoy the quietness that we're going to have. So let's all thank Glenn. Tell Glenn, everybody, have a good trip. Hopefully don't come back too soon. And also for everybody out there, make sure to head over to our YouTube channel tomorrow, because I do have our mobile coaching session at 11 a.m. Eastern. So come hang out with me for that as we take a look at some of the hottest stocks in the hottest industries and see if there's still potential for them to continue to make us money. And aside from that, have a great long weekend. Everybody be safe out there, and make sure to be back here next week as we kick off our next session at 2 p.m. once again on our YouTube channel. And if you haven't already hit that like button, hit that like. Every like that we get helps Glenn look a little bit younger. Not by much, but a little bit younger. So make sure to smash that like button if you want to keep Glenn young. And until next time, take care, adios, and toodles.
See ya.